Are you struggling to stand out in the dating scene? Discover the unexpected strategy that could change everything. In this guide, we delve into the intriguing realm of psychology to reveal how starting to ignore her might just be your ticket to attracting the woman of your dreams. Explore the power of ignoring women and learn how this tactic can shift the dynamics of attraction. We'll uncover interesting facts about women and how they respond to selective attention. Embrace the power of ignoring a woman to spark curiosity and interest, ultimately making you more appealing. Master these 12 psychological tips to understand how to attract women effectively. Dive in to explore this counterintuitive approach and transform your dating life with insights grounded in psychological principles. Show your support by hitting the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Stoic Goddess for more content like this. Start ignoring her on your journey. Number 1. Be bold. Be bold. This is the first lesson every high-value man must learn. Before you even think about playing it cool or ignoring a woman, you need to approach her with confidence. Why? Because passivity is not a man's game, it's the way of those who wait and wish for life to happen to them. But a man who knows his worth doesn't wait, he acts. Fortune favors the brave, after all. High-value men understand that taking risks can lead to the greatest rewards. So why hesitate when the only thing standing between you and success is fear? Approaching a woman shouldn't be a moment of doubt, but an opportunity to seize. Passively waiting for her to make the first move is a game for losers, those who are content with what comes their way, rather than going after what they truly desire. Remember, it's better to face rejection head-on than to live with the regret of never trying. Every missed opportunity is a lesson left unlearned. And while you can't turn back the clock, you can always learn and improve. So, why not be bold? Why not take the chance? Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, the vast unknown before you. What if you leap? What if you leap? What if you soar? The question isn't whether you'll fall, the real question is whether you'll ever know what could have been if you never try. Will you let fear dictate your actions, or will you embrace the thrill of the unknown? In psychology, there's a concept known as the approach avoidance conflict, which describes the tension between a desire to approach something we want and the fear of negative consequences. Studies suggest that those who overcome this conflict by taking action experience a higher sense of satisfaction and success. So when you see a woman who catches your eye, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? A simple no, or the endless what if that will haunt you if you never make a move. Boldness isn't just about approaching women, it's a mindset, a way of living that says, I will not settle for less than what I want in life. It's about understanding that fear is a temporary obstacle, but regret can last a lifetime. So, what's stopping you? What's holding you back from being the man who takes what he wants from life? Number 2. The power of selective attention. Every time she unlocks her phone, her screen is flooded with notifications from countless men vying for her attention. This constant stream of validation boosts her ego, after all. Who wouldn't feel empowered by being wanted by so many? Yet, amid all this noise, a truly high-value man stands out by doing the opposite. He doesn't pay attention. A man approaches a woman, introduces himself, but does not give her the unrelenting attention she is accustomed to. He treats her as if she's not the only one, subtly implying that his world doesn't revolve around her. This confuses her. She is used to men pursuing her, so why not this one? What makes him different? Suddenly, the woman begins to question her own worth. Why isn't she special enough to attract his interest like she does with others? The psychology behind this is fascinating. Studies show that scarcity creates value. What we can't easily get, we desire more intensely. By not giving her the validation she expects, the high-value man becomes a challenge, a puzzle she feels compelled to solve. Why didn't he kneel at her feet like the others? This question lingers in her mind, causing her to seek his approval more seriously. But don't misunderstand this. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding where to invest your time and energy. A man with high values knows that his attention is precious, and doesn't waste it on superficial validation. He has more meaningful pursuits and doesn't need to inflate women's egos through social media likes and comments. That's a task for so-called beta males who are eager to feed her constant need for reassurance. So why not flip the script? By paying selective attention, you give her a reality check, humbling her in a rare and attractive way. It's a reminder that true value lies in what you earn, not what is given away for free. And in doing so, you set yourself apart not just as another admirer, but as someone truly worth pursuing. Number 3. Stop rewarding bad behavior. Have you ever found yourself caught in a cycle of unnecessary arguments, leaving you frustrated and drained? High value men understand the significance of avoiding such traps. When a woman repeatedly instigates conflicts without valid reasons, it's often a sign that she may not fully respect or appreciate you. In these moments, it's crucial to recognize that not all battles are worth fighting. But how do you handle this without compromising your own values? Imagine maintaining your calm while she's expecting a reaction. What message does this send? By stepping back and withholding your usual attention and care, you subtly communicate that such behavior has consequences. This doesn't mean being cold or unkind, but rather standing firm in your boundaries. Scientific studies suggest that people are naturally drawn to those who display emotional resilience and self-control. Isn't it intriguing that your silence can be more powerful than words? Think about it, women are often more attracted to strength than to weakness. Overreacting or becoming overly emotional can be perceived as a vulnerability, something that could diminish your perceived value. So what's the alternative? Staying calm, composed, and sometimes choosing silence. This doesn't just help you maintain control over the situation, it also enhances your appeal. For instance, studies have shown that individuals who remain calm under pressure are often seen as more attractive and competent by others. As a man who values integrity, you must ensure that your actions reflect this. Setting boundaries and not rewarding bad behavior not only establishes a healthy dynamic but also showcases your strength and determination. How does this approach change the dynamics of your relationship? What new respect or understanding could this foster? By being deliberate, brief, and to the point in your responses, you keep the conversation focused and meaningful, avoiding unnecessary conflict and fostering a deeper connection. So the next time you find yourself on the brink of an argument, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? In essence, maintaining your composure and refusing to reward inappropriate behavior is not just about keeping the peace, it's about demonstrating your worth. Number 4. Embracing the fearless mindset. Ever wondered why some men effortlessly attract women while others struggle? The secret lies in a fearless mindset. High-value men recognize their worth and possess an unshakable confidence that makes them magnetic. They don't see women as unreachable goddesses, but as equals, worthy of their respect and admiration. This perspective allows them to stay composed and relaxed, even around the most attractive women, which in turn makes them even more desirable. But what about those who feel nervous or inferior around women? Often it's because they lack self-confidence and hold a mindset that places women on a pedestal. This is where charisma comes into play. True charisma isn't just about charm or smooth talking, it's rooted in a deep, unwavering belief in oneself. Science shows that people who believe in their own worth radiate an energy that others find irresistible. Imagine yourself at your absolute best, confident, strong, and in control. What would that version of you do differently? How would you interact with others, especially women? The key to developing this fearless mindset is to focus on self-improvement. By continuously bettering yourself, whether it's through your career, health, or personal growth, you'll find it increasingly difficult to be intimidated or overly impressed by anyone. Is it possible that the real secret to attracting women is simply believing you're worth it? Could it be that the answer lies not in changing how you interact with women, but in how you see yourself? As you ponder these questions, remember you are your greatest asset. Embrace your value and the world will too. Number 5. Get busy with the power of purpose. Harness the power of purpose and watch how it transforms your life. A man with high values and big goals doesn't have time for meaningless distractions or empty flirtations. Why waste energy on fleeting thrills when you can channel it into building a life you're truly proud of? Think about it. Are you waiting for luck to strike, or are you seizing the reins and making things happen? The choice between being average or exceptional lies in your hands. Imagine life as a battlefield. Conquering challenges, whether in love or career, requires the right weapons. Your power, your drive, is your weapon of seduction. A fulfilling life, a fit body, and a sharp appearance, these aren't just nice-to-haves, they're your arsenal. What if you could master these tools to not just attract others, but to command respect and admiration? Our journey to success includes daily habits like consistent exercise, disciplined body care, and proactive job searching. Why do some men effortlessly command attention while others blend into the background? It's simple, they've mastered the art of self-improvement. Scientific studies show that people who are proactive and goal-oriented are not only more successful but also more attractive to others. Picture this: a man who wakes up every day with a clear purpose, who invests in his physical and mental well-being, and who is relentless in his pursuit of excellence. Ready to become the best version of yourself? Remember, the journey to a richer life isn't just about external changes, it's about transforming your mindset. So are you ready to wield your power and stand out from the crowd? The battlefield is yours. Number 6. Don't change your plans for her. Don't change your plans for her. High-value men understand the importance of their time. They have fulfilling lives with work, hobbies, social relationships, and aspirations. They don't abandon previous commitments just to spend time with a beautiful woman. While it might seem kind to prioritize her, you're essentially telling her she's more important than everything else in your life, even though you don't really know her. Are you treating her like a superstar before she's even earned it? Remember, an interesting man has his own life and isn't solely focused on women. In social situations, she will find herself needing to make more of an effort to get your attention because she realizes your time is valuable and not something easily given away. Why should your time be so easily sacrificed when it's a resource we can never get back? Imagine you're a Stoic, like the ancient philosophers who believed in maintaining control over one's emotions. They would argue that giving up your plans for someone you just met is a sign of weakness, not strength. Studies show that people value things more when they have to work for them. If she sees that you have a busy, interesting life and that your time is precious, she will be more intrigued and invested in getting to know you. This isn't about playing games, but about establishing respect and boundaries from the outset. By maintaining your plans, you show her that you are a man of value, and that's far more attractive in the long run. Number 7. Embracing directness and precision. We discussed the value of directness and precision in this segment. High-value men understand the importance of clear and concise communication, especially when interacting with women. Avoid generalizations and resist the urge to act like just another friend. Steer clear of overusing emojis or resorting to silly language in your texts. Live authentically while affirming your masculine nature. A high-value man is straightforward and to the point, never wasting time on trivial matters. Why engage in idle gossip when it's better to accept rejection and move on? Remember, a high-value man doesn't waste time arguing with a woman who doesn't respect him. If she tries to play games, he ignores or ghosts her, sending a clear message that she needs to be on her best behavior. This also signals that he can replace her if needed. Many men get stuck in toxic relationships, risking emotional turmoil. Don't fall into this trap. Be wise in choosing your companions and don't waste time on those who don't deserve it. Why spend precious moments on people who won't respect you? Consider the example of emotional resilience. Scientific studies show that people who practice direct communication experience lower stress levels and have healthier relationships. Isn't it better to invest in genuine connections rather than shallow interactions? How can you cultivate the habit of being concise and direct in your own life? Reflect on these questions as you strive for meaningful connections and a high-value life. In conclusion, directness and precision are vital in maintaining high-value interactions. Stay true to yourself, be clear in your communication, and choose your companions wisely. By doing so, you'll foster respect and authenticity in your relationships. Number 8. The art of independence. Learn to embrace solitude, and you'll unlock the true value of independence and autonomy. Have you ever wondered why men with high self-worth aren't afraid of being alone? They treasure their alone time, using it for reflection, growth, and self-improvement. These men understand a vital truth: their existence isn't validated by a relationship. Their self-worth is not tied to their relationship status. Instead, they radiate a sense of wholeness and confidence that others find incredibly attractive. Why? Because they are complete on their own. Does this mean that men of high value aren't social or don't enjoy companionship? Far from it. In fact, they often cherish meaningful connections. However, they know the difference between needing someone and wanting someone. They don't seek a partner to complete them, they seek someone who can enhance the life they've already built. This selectiveness is rooted in self-respect and the understanding that not everyone will meet their high standards. So how can you cultivate this mindset? Start by learning to enjoy your own company. How often do you take time to reflect on your own thoughts, ambitions, and desires? By becoming comfortable with yourself, you pave the way to becoming someone of high value. It's a journey where independence isn't just a preference, it's a strength. Consider this: studies have shown that people who are comfortable with solitude tend to have higher self-esteem and better emotional well-being. This is because they aren't reliant on external validation for their sense of self-worth. They know who they are and what they bring to the table. This self-assuredness is not just attractive, it's magnetic. Learning to be independent is the first step toward becoming a person of high value. It's about knowing that you're complete on your own, and any relationship is an addition, not a necessity. This mindset not only elevates your sense of self, but also attracts others who appreciate and respect your autonomy. Number 9. The strength of self-awareness. Self-awareness is an essential quality that truly distinguishes high-value men. But what does it really mean to be self-aware, and how can this trait transform your relationships? At its core, self-awareness is about having a deep understanding of your strengths, weaknesses, and the impact of your actions. It's not just about recognizing flaws, but embracing them as opportunities for growth. High-value men are those who aren't afraid to confront their imperfections head-on. They take responsibility for their actions, learn from their mistakes, and continuously strive to improve. Consider this: research shows that self-aware individuals are more successful in their personal and professional lives. A study conducted by the Harvard Business Review found that self-awareness was a crucial factor in leadership effectiveness, with self-aware leaders showing greater success in team management and decision-making. This principle applies to relationships too. When you know yourself well, you navigate interactions with confidence and authenticity, which naturally attracts others. But here's a question: how often do you reflect on your own actions and their consequences? High-value men do this regularly, using self-awareness as a tool for growth. They know their worth and refuse to settle for less than they deserve. This strong sense of self-esteem is evident in every aspect of their lives, from their career choices to their relationships. Imagine the impact of setting clear boundaries based on your values and consistently upholding them. This unwavering commitment to self-respect and personal development not only enhances your own life, but also makes you a more desirable partner. Women, and indeed everyone, are drawn to men who exude this kind of quiet confidence and humility, who are on a continual journey of self-improvement. So ask yourself, how self-aware are you? Are you willing to confront your flaws and grow from them? Embracing self-awareness isn't just about knowing your strengths, it's about using your understanding of yourself to become the best version of who you are. This is what sets high-value men apart. It's what makes them stand out and why they become magnetic in the eyes of others. Number 10. The curse of the nice guy is all too real. Being overly nice can often lead to being taken for granted, especially by women who don't recognize your worth. If you've ever found yourself being too generous or respectful, only to be met with indifference, you're not alone. But here's the catch: the problem isn't with being kind, it's with being too available. Why does this happen? It's simple. When kindness isn't valued, it's time to reconsider your approach. The strongest move a man can make is to show that he can walk away and mean it. This isn't about playing games, it's about setting boundaries and preserving your dignity. A Stoic would advise detaching from the need for external validation and focusing on self-respect. Consider this: many men, in an effort to win back a woman's attention, double down on kindness, sending more messages, giving more gifts. But what if the opposite is true? What if pulling back is the answer? By stepping away, you reset the dynamic. You show her that your attention isn't guaranteed, and that respect is a two-way street. Just think, women today are constantly seeking attention, sometimes even money, through platforms like Instagram and Facebook. The attention economy thrives on the idea that men will always be there, ready to give more. But what happens when you stop playing that game? When you reserve your attention for those who truly value it? A study by the University of Toronto found that scarcity increases value. The less accessible something is, the more we desire it. This principle applies to relationships too. When you stop being the nice guy who's always available, you become more intriguing, more respected. So, what's the takeaway? Stop wasting your time on those who don't appreciate your kindness. Show that you have enough self-respect to walk away when you're not valued. In doing so, you'll not only reset the dynamics of your relationship, but you'll also regain your dignity and self-worth. After all, respect begins with how you treat yourself. Number 11. Human nature places a premium on what is scarce. This truth can be especially evident in dating dynamics. When men feel compelled to respond quickly to women, they might unwittingly signal desperation. Women, adept at reading these cues, may interpret relentless messaging as a lack of self-respect. But why does this happen? It boils down to how scarcity enhances value. Just as a limited edition item commands higher prices, so too does a person's attention gain more worth when it's less accessible. Women understand that men are often busy, and thus they don't expect constant communication. Instead, they might test boundaries to gauge a man's true value. When men flood women with messages in a bid to prove their worth, it often backfires. Women may begin to see this overabundance of attention as less valuable, leading them to withdraw. Studies have shown that people tend to value things more when they're not always available. For instance, research by psychologist Robert Cialdini reveals that scarcity increases desirability, a principle that applies to relationships as well. So, how can this be managed effectively? The key is balance. By maintaining a sense of mystery and not being overly available, you make your attention more valuable. This doesn't mean playing games or being disingenuous. It means respecting your own time and setting boundaries, allowing your presence to become something appreciated rather than expected. Ask yourself what happens when you withhold your attention just enough to create interest. How will this affect the way she values your interactions? By creating a dynamic where your attention is perceived as more precious, you can foster a healthier and more balanced relationship. Number 12. The truth behind the power of ignoring a woman. 1. Women crave validation. Women often seek recognition and approval, which can be more pronounced than it is for men. This dynamic can impact how you are perceived and valued. To stand out and rekindle interest, you must differentiate yourself from the majority of men who overly invest their attention and effort. Here's a key strategy: become part of the 5% who adopt a different approach. Rather than constantly initiating contact and making plans, allow her to reach out to you. This shift challenges the typical dynamic where men are seen as always available and eager. By stepping back and focusing on your own interests and boundaries, you subtly demonstrate that your time is valuable, When a woman expects you to make the first move every time, she might be trying to shift responsibility onto you. This can be a sign to reassess your approach. Set clear boundaries about your availability. Let her know that if she wants to meet, she should initiate contact. Otherwise, you have other priorities. This strategy isn't just about playing hard to get, it's about establishing respect and self-worth. Research supports this approach. Studies show that people value what they can't easily have, and setting boundaries can increase respect and interest. For instance, a study in social psychology found that individuals who practiced self-regulation and set clear boundaries were more likely to be respected and desired in relationships. So how do you implement this? Start by shifting your focus to your own passions and priorities. Show that while you value her, you also have a rich and fulfilling life outside of the relationship. This not only enhances your appeal but also ensures she sees you as someone who values himself. 2. Women love men who challenge them. Ever wonder why women are often drawn to men who seem to challenge them? It turns out that a touch of mystery and challenge can be incredibly alluring. When a man is too available or easily won, things can quickly become predictable and dull. The allure of a challenge, however, introduces an element of excitement and engagement. Think of it this way: when a man doesn't readily offer his full attention, he becomes a puzzle to solve, an enigma that piques curiosity. This subtle withdrawal can create a dynamic where a woman feels the need to earn his attention and affection, which often leads to increased investment in the relationship. Isn't it fascinating that this concept has scientific backing? Studies have shown that the excitement of a challenge can intensify feelings of attraction. For instance, research on the chase in relationships reveals that when people perceive a partner as somewhat elusive, their interest and commitment often grow stronger. So how do you use this to your advantage? The key isn't to play games but to strike a balance. By not always being available and showing that you have your own passions and pursuits, you naturally become more intriguing. This doesn't mean ignoring or neglecting, it means maintaining a sense of self and purpose that makes others value your presence more. Ask yourself, how do you feel about relationships that are too easy? Aren't the ones that require a bit of effort often the most rewarding? By offering just the right amount of challenge, you invite deeper connections and create a dynamic where your presence is both cherished and sought after. In essence, embracing a little strategic distance can turn a relationship into an engaging journey rather than a static routine. It's not about playing hard to get, but about ensuring your value is recognized and appreciated. 3. Ignoring women triggers their inner competition. Ever wondered why ignoring someone might make them more interested? When a man withdraws his attention from a woman, it can spark an intriguing psychological response. Women, like anyone, have a natural competitive streak, often heightened in social settings. When a woman feels neglected, it can trigger her competitive instincts. She might start questioning why she's being overlooked and whether others are receiving more attention. This reaction is deeply rooted in human behavior. Psychologically, people are often driven by a desire to win or be valued. When a woman senses she's not being noticed, it can evoke feelings of jealousy and insecurity. She may begin comparing herself to others and push harder to reclaim that attention. The more a man withdraws, the more it can heighten her determination to prove her worth and attract his gaze. Consider the phenomenon observed in social psychology, the scarcity effect, where individuals place higher value on things that are perceived as scarce. This principle applies here. By withdrawing attention, you inadvertently make yourself more desirable. Research supports this idea. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people are more likely to desire what is less accessible. So how can you use this insight effectively? It's not about playing games, but understanding human behavior. By subtly pulling back and focusing on your own interests, you create an environment where the woman is driven to compete for your attention. This approach taps into her competitive nature, making her more eager to stand out and capture your notice. Ask yourself, how might your absence amplify someone's desire to win your attention? How can you strategically balance your presence to spark genuine interest? By creating a sense of scarcity, you give others a chance to appreciate your value more deeply. In essence, withdrawing your attention can intensify a person's interest, not through manipulation, but through a natural response to perceived scarcity. It's a subtle art of making your presence more valued and desired, leading to a more meaningful connection. 4. Denial creates obsession. Why does rejection make someone more desirable? It's a paradox that plays on human emotions. Rejection, particularly when it comes from someone who is generally kind or attractive, often sparks an intense desire. This isn't just about romantic pursuits, it's about a fundamental psychological reaction. Denial acts as a defense mechanism. When someone feels rejected, especially women, it can trigger a deep-seated fear of not being good enough. This fear isn't rooted in reality, but in a perception that being rejected equates to personal inadequacy. The Stoics teach us to detach from external validation, yet in modern relationships, rejection can feel like a direct assault on one's self-worth. This emotional conflict fuels obsession. So why does this happen? Consider the allure of the unavailable. When someone repeatedly denies your advances, they become a challenge, a puzzle to solve. The mind fixates on what it cannot have. A study on romantic rejection found that the brain regions associated with addiction light up when a person is rejected, showing that denial and rejection can actually lead to obsession, much like a drug. But what does this mean for you? Should you be Mr. Bad Guy, the one who continuously turns down others? Not exactly. The real lesson lies in understanding the dynamics of attraction and self-worth. When someone isn't interested in you, it's crucial to remember that this doesn't diminish your value. Instead of fixating on someone who isn't reciprocating, apply Stoic principles. Focus on what you can control: your self-worth and emotional health. Ask yourself, why chase after someone who isn't interested? Is it really about them, or is it about proving something to yourself? By understanding the roots of this obsession, you can break free from its grip. Ultimately, the key is balance. Recognize when denial is triggering an unhealthy obsession and shift your focus inward. Remember, your worth isn't defined by someone else's acceptance. It's about valuing yourself, regardless of who may or may not reciprocate your feelings. When you truly grasp this, you gain the power to control your emotions, rather than being controlled by them. Mastering the art of attraction involves understanding complex psychological dynamics. One such intriguing principle is the power of ignoring a woman. By selectively focusing your attention, you can create a sense of mystery and value that she finds irresistible. Remember, it's not about playing games, but about demonstrating your own worth and establishing a balanced interaction. Start ignoring her and watch how this subtle shift can transform the dynamics. It's an interesting fact about women that scarcity often enhances attraction, making you stand out in a crowded field. The power of ignoring women lies in its ability to make you more desirable and intriguing, offering a fresh perspective on how to attract women. If you found these insights valuable, please support us by hitting the like button, subscribing to the Stoic Goddess, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to catch more great videos. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.